we had the Champions League final over the weekend, and what a drubbing it was.
I mean, what a game it really was, wasn't it? 5-0. Never seen the like of it in a Champions League final. I love it.
Why was it so one-sided?
It was what PSG were doing probably like all season in the league at home, which I didn't watch, but definitely all season in the Champions League. With their high press, their intensity, you can't win anything with kids. They bloody have. And it's a complete change from PSG of old with the stars. They're so in their intensity in that final. Just Inter could not handle them. They didn't have any like way of passing through them. They were just outnumbered in the midfield. I think their first shot on target was in the 70th minute, and that just showed the pressure that PSG put them under the whole game. They should have put it long. If Dyche was in charge, that's straight up into the air to the big man. But they were trying to pass it through, and they weren't getting any joy.
There you go. Give Dyche the Inter Milan job, says Andy. Matt, where did Inter Milan go wrong, or was it just PSG being immense?
I think really, to be honest, the minute PSG went ahead, Inter Milan aren't really a team that can come from behind at all. They're not really that kind of team. I think if they went ahead, then it would have been far more interesting with PSG coming onto them. But the minute they went behind, it was curtains, really. They kept on trying to play when really the first 10 minutes, they didn't look dreadful. PSG got a good goal, like very good goal, really. It's really well worked. And then after that, you just have to say that, PSG absolutely bossed it. But if Thuram's header goes in around the half an hour point, it would have gone in 2-1 down at half time, maybe.
Yeah.
And then it's still a game. But that was a sit. It was him against the Vitinha, the back post. So
it was an easy opportunity for a striker. He should be finishing that, definitely.
So exactly, I mean, it's a completely different game. But yeah, I mean, after now watching highlights, stuff like that, PSG completely dominated, and Hakimi looks unreal, Vitinha looks unbelievable, and Dembele's this pressing machine who looks like Michael Jordan at for any goal kick. It's brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Andy, who is the star man for you?
Well, I mean, it is Doué. Like for the goal involved and the assist, he looked electric. Just how he was going forward and how he spreads like their defense. But they were talking about like kind of all the key individuals in that PSG team, and it's such a collective. You could go through every single player in that team and how they performed so well in that game. So I think it's hard to pick a star, but if you're going to pick someone, it's a youngster who makes that impact in the final. Desiree Doué. 100%.
Desiree Doué, indeed. Doué, indeed. I have to say, so Inter Milan have done a very, very good job this year of getting to the final, and they really have been bucking the trend in terms of they've actually got quite an old squad. I think they've got the oldest squad, or close to
the oldest.
The oldest by far. And I think this was a case of men versus boys, but to counteract the saying, the boys absolutely ran around the men and completely old men just couldn't keep up. It reminded me of like watching like the dads play against the kids and the kids winning for the first time when they're like 15 because they're just quicker and better and the dad's just too
more
slow.
energy.
Yeah. And it's a big moment for the
that's
kids.
quite a good analogy.
It's
I like
the
that.
best moment in the kids' life when they beat their dad for the first time.
It's completely true. And true of PSG, obviously winning it for the first time as well.
Yeah.
Funny for them to go in, basically, and everyone's still like, they love the whole Luis Enrique story and everything like that, and the whole PSG being supposed non-stars. Each player was bought for 40 million minimum. And it's just like, they've got the highest wage bill in Europe. And this whole like kind of story about them being the underdogs or the ones that weren't supposed to win it. Like, come on. But even so, you've got to appreciate where like someone is very good at football, and they were such a good, well-balanced team, like you said, Andy.
I mean, and they only have another summer to actually build on that team as well. Like, you just get players to potentially compete. There's no like kind of weak link that you think they definitely need to improve that. It's a great team, and see what they do next year.
See what they do next year, indeed. I think that there'll be some stiff competition next year. Perhaps people copying the style a little bit as well. And maybe it might be one of those where once one or two teams work out how to play against Paris Saint-Germain, then starts to unravel. But that's for next season.